Okay, so for this project, I'm gonna be using a breadboard and also a bunch of these LEDs. And so for the sign, I'm gonna be wiring 3 of these LEDs. Each of these squares is gonna represent an LED, and then the black is gonna represent the border. So like each of the squares inside the border are gonna be white LEDs. So we have 3 LEDs in parallel, and that says 15 LEDs in series. And to power this, I'm gonna be using this 12 amp power supply, or sorry, this 12 volt power supply, and also one of these little adapter things. And so to wire everything in parallel, I'm going to be using these small little jumper cables for breadboards, and it's going to look like this. So we would use one of these little ones like this, right? So that the electricity can go from here through this wire and then through here. And so remember in the breadboard that each of these rows like this are going to be internally connected. So these 3 LEDs are already in parallel. So if we look at the diagram again, since I'm only going to be doing 3 in series, I'm only going to be using these 2, right? Because the way it works is that we're going to have 2 LEDs here, an LED in here, and by the way, the positive side is on the left, and this would be the negative. So as you can see, this is what it's starting to look like. So we skip a space in between each of these, but you can see that this way we're not skipping any spaces, and then these wires inside are what wire everything in series. So what I did was I wired this entire array of LEDs, the positive ends to the positive power rail, and then the negative ends to the negative power rail. And you can see I kind of just wrapped the wire around this LED right here, and then I did the same for this one as well. I went ahead and added the other connections to the power rails preemptively because it's just going to be easier than just trying to wrap it around the LEDs. So now you can start to see that the top 3 layers are starting to take shape, and then we just have to do the bottom 2 layers. And so this is what it looks like with all the LEDs in the array. I just have to wire the power rails to these bottom 2 rows. That should be pretty easy because there's these spaces here which didn't exist for the top. And so this is what the bottom power rail wires look like. And so that's pretty much it. The last thing I'd like to do is wire one of these 100 ohm resistors in series with the entire array of LEDs, and that's because each of the LEDs can only take 20 milliohms, or 20 milliamps, sorry. So that way we ensure that none of the LEDs blow out. So to wire the resistor in series with the circuit, I'm just gonna, instead of using a red wire for the positive terminal, I'm just gonna use this resistor. Should do it. So I'm just gonna use my screwdriver and tighten the clamp. Sorry, my screwdriver is kind of messed up. so now you can't pull it out. And I'll do the same with the other side. So after some experimentation, I changed the wire out, or I changed the resistor out for a 200 ohm resistor because I thought that the 100 ohm one was too bright. But this is what it looks like. It's not really showing up very well on the camera, but it looks pretty cool.